In today's world, love often begins with a swipe. Breakups trend. Loss is posted, liked, and scrolled past. But in a quiet corner of America where time still slows and tradition reigns, something extraordinary happens. When death enters an Amish home, the silence it leaves behind is deeper than most could imagine. But here's the question: how do the Amish love again? When a spouse dies, do they remarry? If so, how? When? Why? In this video, we journey into a world rarely seen, one of grief, faith, love, and second chances. And what you learn here may just challenge everything you thought you knew about love and loss. Marriage as covenant. To understand how the Amish remarry, we must first understand how they marry. In the Amish world, marriage is not a romantic ideal, it is a spiritual covenant. Two souls becoming one under God, not just for a season, but for life. Dating as we know it doesn't exist. Courtship is intentional, serious, and always with marriage in mind. Weddings are humble but sacred, celebrated not with extravagance, but with devotion. This is why death isn't just the loss of a partner, it's the loss of a co-laborer, a co-worshipper, a piece of one's soul, and in the aftermath of that loss, everything changes. The season of mourning. When a spouse dies, the Amish don't move on quickly. There is a season of mourning, visible and deep. Widows often wear black for months or years. Men live in silence. There are no grief retreats, no podcasts to guide them, only the rhythm of life, the support of neighbors, and the grounding of Scripture. During this time, the widow or widower withdraws. Not completely, but enough to reflect, grieve, and pray. And here's something powerful. No one pushes them. No one says, "You should be over it by now." But eventually, slowly, some begin to feel the quiet whisper of companionship. Again, the quiet spark of courtship. Amish courtship after a spouse's death is not something spoken loudly. It might start with a shared meal after church, a kind gesture at a barn raising, a letter written by lantern light. Sometimes it's not even the widow or widower who considers it first. A friend, a bishop, even a grown child might gently say, "You don't have to be alone forever." And that is where hope begins. Not in fireworks, but in whispers. But not everyone supports it. Some frown upon remarriage, especially if it happens too soon. So how does the Amish community decide what's right and what's not? The role of the church and community. The Amish live in close-knit church districts. No major life decision, especially not remarriage, happens in isolation. The bishop and church elders carry immense influence. If a widow or widower is considering remarrying, it's not just personal, it's communal. Private discussions take place. Elders may ask, is the grieving complete? Is this union spiritually sound? Will it honor the Ordnung, the guiding rules of the church? Only after these conversations can a new love begin to form publicly. But when children are involved, things become more complex. Because healing a heart is one thing, but blending a family, that's another story. Blending families and navigating memory. They both lost someone they vowed forever to. Now they're thinking of starting anew, not just as husband and wife, but as mother and father to children who still whisper mom or dad to someone who's no longer there. Blending families in the Amish world means more than just sharing meals. It means rebuilding trust, establishing order, healing old wounds while not erasing the past. Some children struggle, some embrace, but one thing is certain: everyone must learn to love with patience and grace, and still, not every remarriage is met with celebration. Facing resistance and quiet judgment. In some cases, remarriage is whispered about, with raised eyebrows. Did she move on too fast? Does he truly honor his late wife's memory? The Amish value humility. So remarriage, especially one that feels rushed, can draw quiet criticism. And then there's the Ordnung. Different church districts have different expectations. If a widower moves to another community to remarry, his new wife may have to change how she dresses, speaks, or even worships. For some couples, the love is worth it. For others, the pressure becomes too heavy. But for those who do continue, who push forward despite the doubts, there comes a day when two broken hearts stand together, ready to become one. The remarriage ceremony. Amish remarriages are never grand affairs. There are no flower girls or photographers. Sometimes the ceremony takes place in the bride's home, other times in a small church with just close family and community members. There are no rings exchanged, no big parties, but there is something far more powerful, a renewal of faith. Two people who have walked through sorrow now walk into a new season, together. And while the community may watch quietly, the moment is sacred. But love after loss carries more than just joy. It carries guilt. And letting go of that guilt can be the hardest part. Guilt, gratitude, and the weight of moving on. For many Amish widows and widowers, remarriage brings emotional conflict. Am I betraying the one I lost? Can I fully love someone new when part of me still aches for the past? These aren't just feelings. They are spiritual questions. But in time, most come to realize loving again doesn't mean forgetting. It means honoring the past by embracing the future. It means gratitude for what was and grace for what is to come. And perhaps in the heart of that tension lies the most important lesson of all: the Amish path to healing. We live in a world that avoids pain, that rushes grief, that glorifies moving on. But the Amish teach us something radically different. Sit with sorrow. Walk with it. Learn from it. And when the time is right, when your soul is steady, open your heart again. Quietly, prayerfully. Not because you've forgotten, but because you've healed. And perhaps in this sacred rhythm of loss and love, the Amish offer us a powerful message that second chances are not just possible, they are holy. If this story moved you, let it remind you, grief does not end love, and love, when chosen again, can be even deeper. The Amish may live in silence, but their stories speak volumes. If this video inspired you, share it. Because someone somewhere is carrying a quiet heartbreak, and they need to know it's not the end. It may just be the beginning. Love never dies. It waits until we're ready to begin again.